Hello, happy Mother's Day, happy Parents' Day, and today I'd like to share with you a personal story that transformed my life, completely changed my life. But first, just for a little context, remember we've just recently come back from Korea where True Mother asked Professor Kim to share with us revelatory content, deeper content, so that we can understand the truth about the providence, especially with regard to True Parents, True Mother, and True Parents course. And just yesterday, Mother guided us to wait for her to lead us in how we share this content with you, with the rest of our leadership and members. And in fact, already some things are coming out here and there in different nations, different regions around the world, and everybody's having their experience with that. But I really want to follow Mother's careful, artistic and loving guidance as to how we dive deeper into our understanding about the truth of the providence, especially True Parents course. So today, to celebrate Mother's Day, Parents' Day, I want to share with you a personal story that I believe is right in line with what it is that Mother wants to express. And I believe if you listen carefully and pray about it, what I will share with you today will or can truly prepare you to receive what it is in Mother's heart to share with you more deeply. Okay? So I'm going to share with you this story, and this experience for me really helped me to understand God and Heavenly Parent in a whole new way, and True Parents in a whole new way. And I admit that this was my experience and my journey, my course, and I'm sure it's different for you. But at least let me offer it so that Damien Dunkley can contribute something of his life experience for you. So this is 2017. It's 2017, and I am in New York. Actually, I'm in New Jersey on my way to New York on the bus. It's November. The weather is still quite beautiful, but getting cold. And I'm on the morning commute from my home in New Jersey into Manhattan, New York City. Early in the morning, it's probably 8 or 8:30 in the morning on a bus with many other New Jerseyans on their way to work in the morning. And we're actually about to go into the Lincoln Tunnel. And the Lincoln Tunnel is one of the main ways in from New Jersey into Manhattan. It goes under the Hudson River and pops up in Midtown Manhattan, which is only about a 10-minute walk to the New Yorker Hotel where my office is at this time. And I'm listening to True Mother's speech given on November 11th at the 80,000 rallies in Seoul, Korea, given on November 11th. And I'm listening again to the recording just a couple of days after the event. I'm listening again to True Mother's speech in English. And again, True Mother is proclaiming about the only begotten daughter. And, you know, True Mother was mentioning this in almost every public speech at this time. And not only that, in many of our leadership meetings, we were receiving education and guidance about God's only begotten daughter. And for me, it got to the point where I was wondering why Mother was so often, repeatedly proclaiming about God's only begotten daughter. It had now been years. It was now years that we were hearing about this. 3-4 years? And still Mother was proclaiming it. And from the very beginning, for me, from the very beginning, it was very natural. I had no issues with it. I know several people had far-reaching theological questions and, prayers of faith, even crisis of faith to try and digest this proclamation. But for me, from the beginning, thankfully, it was quite simple and very agreeable for me. So as I was listening this morning on the way to work, as I was listening to True Mother again proclaim in Korea to 80,000 people about the only begotten daughter, and she was there flanked by Christian leaders from around the world, especially from America, I was wondering why, not so much why was True Mother saying it again and again. I felt deeply in my heart that True Mother was not satisfied, did not feel satisfied with our understanding of this proclamation. You hear me? So I was praying to God there on the bus as I was looking out the window, New York traffic. I'm on my way into the tunnel. And as I'm looking out the window, I'm praying to God, why does True Mother, why is it that I feel that True Mother feels unsatisfied with our understanding? Certainly, as I'm listening to her speech, she's speaking to 80,000 people, public. These are not just members, this is representing Korean public. But at the same time, I felt that she was unsatisfied even with our understanding. And so I was asking God, why do I feel that Mother's frustrated or unsatisfied with our understanding, with my understanding? And honestly, I can enjoy theological study and debate as much as the next person, but honestly, I tend to, at least at first, I tend to relate much more just how does it feel in my heart? Do I resonate? Is there a Holy Spirit aspect? And so it was with this heart that I was asking God. And after asking God this question, I had an internal experience that really changed my life. I believe I had as profound an experience as when I first met True Parents, as when I first studied the Divine Principle, when I first heard True Father speak. I was having an experience in my heart with True Mother that was equally profound, if not more profound, and certainly led to what I can describe as another rebirth experience, transformational experience. And not just one, but many. Over the following weeks, over the following months, and even up until now, I have had deeper and deeper personal experiences with God and experiences with True Mother, life-changing. And it really all started for me, when did it all start? Started years ago maybe, but this chapter of my life started really fundamentally with this prayer, where I was simply asking, there's something under there that we do not see. We're listening to Mother's words. We're okay, apart from the people that are just reacting, insecure, afraid, apart from all of that, even those of us that are in the boat and we're listening to Mother and we're following Mother and we're listening to her words and we're going, yes, okay, let's go. I realize there's something deeper that I do not see, that we do not see. But let me just speak for myself. As I prayed, the first realization that came to me, and please do not take this as just words. Please understand, I'm using words to describe an experience. It's not just realization, it's an experience. It's like a full experience. The first realization that came to me is that, and I could feel even God speaking, that Mother is the first coming. So, Mother is the first coming. I'm sitting on the bus, and I'm starting to go through the tunnel now. Honestly, the external environment is quite miserable, right? Commuter traffic in a bus on the way to New York. It's smelly, it's noisy. You're surrounded by strangers, and everybody's just in a rush to get to work. But I felt elevated to a whole new environment. And in my heart at this moment, I am just being taken on a journey to realize for myself how absolutely unique the time that we are living in, and how amazing True Mother is. Not just because True Mother, Dr. Hak Ja Han Moon, who you see, who she is, but what she represents. And I've said it before, passionately, the very first time in human history, God can say, "This is my daughter in whom I am well pleased." The first time in history, God can say, "My daughter, my daughter." And through the course of riding through this tunnel, many revelatory, in my experience, I can say revelatory, or I can say awareness, or I can say just thought, inspiring thought, life-transforming thought for myself that occurred to me, okay? For the sake of my life, at least. And a lot of that content, by the way, I shared in the Mother of Peace series, the first sermon in chapter 2 of Mother of Peace. So you can rewind and go back and look for that message. I think it was the 5th message in the series or so, but it was to do with this proclamation that Mother came into this world as God's only begotten daughter. So in that sermon, I share several things that occurred to me as I was traveling through the Lincoln Tunnel on the way to work that morning. Based on this prayer, there's much more around it. But there's just a few points that I conveyed already to you in that message. But today, quite honestly, I just want to hone in on this point, on this realization, the depth and the meaning of this realization, that mother's existence. We see Dr. Hak Ja Han Moon and this woman born in Korea, and we study her life and we understand her significance, and marrying father and taking on the role in 1960 as true parents, and so on and so on. But what I'm describing to you now is simply the profound realization about the significance that this is a woman representing for the first time, God's feminine side. And immediately my mind went to father and, recognizing how much controversy there has been, especially in the Christian world, about father picking up the mantle of Jesus and carrying forth the mission of Jesus as the second coming. Oh my God! Who are we? Who is he? Who are we to say such a thing? So much controversy. There honestly hasn't been that much controversy, at least yet, from the Christians that we've been working with about mother as the only begotten daughter, as God's only begotten daughter. That seemed to be far easier a pill to swallow. But as far as true father, as the second coming, oh my God, that was difficult. So as I'm sitting there on the bus and I'm praying about this, I'm thinking, wait, mother is the first coming and father is the second coming. And in that moment I thought, father and mother equally took on this realm of true parents. But in many respects, I was being led to understand that you can find a lot of commonality if you want to understand mother. And I was thinking, if you want to understand mother, then think also about Jesus. Because Jesus also was the first coming of God's only begotten Son. And true mother is the first coming of God's only begotten daughter. I'm not going to dive deep into the Bible or deep into providential and theological explanations of all this. I just want to say that this is what occurred to me. This is what I heard and received based on that very simple prayer. Why is mother frustrated with our limited what is it that we don't understand? And in that moment I felt, Damien, please understand, there is much more to learn about the significance of who true mother is. Specifically as it regards to being my daughter, my first daughter. And you must understand more deeply the relationship between father and mother, and father as the second coming of continuing the work that began with Jesus. But with regard to the entire feminine side, and with regard to the heavenly mother side, and with regard to the entire lineage as it relates to women and daughters and mothers, you must understand that mother is the first representation. And you must pray and study and reflect more deeply on the significance of who she is. Without doing that, you cannot understand who true parents are. That means I can't even understand who father is, or, if I don't understand who true mother is. So that's it, brothers and sisters. I just wanted to give you that, to pray about that. Think about that. There's more that I can share, but we're already up to 20 minutes. In essence, I'm just sharing with you, I had an ongoing series of amazing kind of oh my God, experiences based on this simple prayer. And I encourage you to pray. And I encourage you to seek for revelatory and rebirth experiences around your prayer. Ask Heavenly Parent, ask True Father, who is True Mother? Not just based on what you studied, not just based on what you know now. Please clean your mind and think more and more deeply. Seek a deeper understanding of who True Mother is. And as far as this content that Mother is trying to share with us about the truth of the providence and the truth of True Parents course, all these things, they will come out in time. But for me, I felt that when I was hearing these things, actually all this, so much of this content was already, I'm not just talking about stories that you hear. No. Internally, artistically, spiritually, I felt deeply and prepared to receive what it is that Mother wanted us to understand. So that's why I'm sharing with you a little bit about my personal journey, and I think for you it can be quite different, but I'm encouraging you to have profound experience through your prayer, and maybe some of my journey can spark some question for you, but it must be personal for you. My relationship with True Mother has nothing to do with my position or the fact that I get to sometimes sit in the same room as her. It actually has everything to do with this prayer that I'm sharing with you today. And it led me to a series of prayers and meditations and experiences that continually take me deeper and deeper. So, brothers and sisters, happy Mother's Day. Let us truly understand what it means that God's only begotten daughter is born. It's represented by the life of Dr. Hak Ja Han Moon, but the significance of this life and the significance of the meaning for God is so deep, and without it, we can't understand Heavenly Parent. We can't understand even true parents. Mother is not just Father's wife. You have to understand, when you study the four-position foundation, right? Where does Adam's authority come from? Where does Eve's authority come from? Jesus was born with God's authority, fully, right? And the only begotten Son was born with God's authority. And Eve also born with God's authority. And the returning Eve, God's only begotten daughter, born with God's authority. Based on their ability to claim it. Four-position foundation. God's starting something new in this era. I said I wouldn't get into theological stuff, but anyway. This is kind of what was coming to me in my prayer. That True Mother is God's representative. Whew. Simple, right? Okay, well, pray about it. And in the meantime, be blessed. Have a wonderful day. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Parents' Day. And let us enjoy celebrations with True Mother. Let us enjoy this month of May. If the weather is good, take your family out for a picnic. If it's raining like it probably is in Thailand, then don't worry about it. Going outside, maybe stay inside or go out with umbrellas in the meantime. I love you, miss you all. God bless you. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. And please send me your questions if you have any. In the meantime, just pray. Thank you. God bless you.